Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Tailgate Show. Those rare episodes, guys, where we get to go live after a Monday night game, man. But, like, 17-9, it sucks to suck.
Fuck this
right?
team.
It sucks. No, let me just say this. It sucks to suck, right? But there were some positives to take out of this game.
Really?
Especially for guys going forward. I think so, man. Like, we can sit here and bitch all day, right? We're just gonna,
and we're gonna for the next hour.
That's fine. That's fine. But I think there's some positives. There's young pieces that I don't understand why they weren't up earlier. We talked about it with Thomas Graham. Like,
kid ball.
You tell me the way that kid plays, he couldn't be a nickel
against good receivers and a good quarterback.
Issues we've been having all season. Like, what? I don't understand the evaluation. Like, how can you not see this? Like, I just think, like, and the whole thing came out with Jalen talking about guys cashing in, and I saw a talent gap tonight, but I didn't see guys cashing in.
No, there was effort.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Especially on the defense, bro. Like, the
Akeem Hicks makes all the difference when he's healthy. He makes all the difference in the world.
Balled out, man. When he's healthy, and that's it. Just there's a
caveat.
All right, I wasn't trying to change. No, not trying to change direction too much, but we're talking about Hicks, right? And we're talking about a contract. Like, if you pay him based on what he does when he's healthy on the field, shit, man, like top 10 talent, right? Definitely.
Right.
But it's the unavailability, and this is on pace because Hicks should have been a guy to come in and play a year or two to give you the opportunity to draft somebody to replace him. That's the age he's at, and it's just another thing on pace. Like, if we lose this guy, it's a huge downgrade. So it's like, it's just, the whole situation just bears bullshit. But I mean, there were positives, man. I didn't expect to be talking about a 17-9 game. I didn't expect to be talking about a game that, like, we really we lost the game. We didn't get beat, in my opinion. And I'm not being George McCaskey and, like, hanging my hat on it this whole season with it. But I saw young guys, like, playing to get shit on tape.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think it's a fair point you make about pace too. I think it's the one thing that people do not talk about enough of is not only trading the draft capital constantly and always being short on resources, but he lacks the forward thinking to make those replacements and look ahead to. It was just like the Fuller situation. You knew that thing was coming to a head. You knew Fuller was going to be out the door, and you did nothing to address it prior than drafting Kendall Vildor in the 5th or 6th round. That's one of my biggest issues with pace.
And Fuller wasn't his guy.
Yeah, fair. That was an Emory guy.
You inherited something to give you a cushion to prepare for the future.
Correct. Yep.
You also, I mean, ESPN did put up a graphic about trading up. You know, they did depict that, but they also missed the trading up for Trubisky part. I don't know. I mean, it's all bad, man. It's all bad. And I'm not sold on what's going on right now with this offense at all.
Oh, I'm talking strictly defense on the things I'm saying.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm really fucking pissed.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I mean, the defense balls out. You don't even give up 200 yards of offense to the Vikings, a team that you've seen score points. 193 yards. That's what they gave up. And they lost by 8 because your offense is fucking incompetent, because your quarterback turns the ball over too goddamn much. It's got to stop, man. He turns it all. He's got 11 fumbles on the season. 11.
Yeah. I'm going to play devil's advocate and say I agree with you on the ball security. I think it definitely needs to be a point of emphasis in the offseason. He cannot keep turning the ball over. I would not point to that to say that's the only reason why this offense is not scoring points, failing in the red zone, and being unproductive.
Yeah, I think Thomas Alexander brought it up. It's an embarrassment. What a red zone embarrassment. Correct, Thomas Alexander. Correct. You can't get your tight ends involved. When you do get them involved,
They dropped the ball.
they drop the ball or it's 3 feet away from them.
And the penalties in the red zone. How many times do we get down there and we get a hold call?
But
This offense is not good enough to overcome those type of penalties.
Well, this team, as soon as they get any kind of opportunity, they piss right down their leg.
I wanted to go half by half when we started breaking the. No. There's no problem. I'm going to go ahead now because you brought up tight ends. You brought up where the fuck was Jesper Horsted the whole fucking game?
Oh, we got to play Jimmy Graham.
What you saw at the end of the game is what they've been doing every time they get an opportunity.
Yep.
Preseason, shoestring catches, like they're in a zone together. They're on time together.
Yep. And
he
fights for the ball.
Another thing, like Thomas Graham.
He's a hands catcher, not like Jimmy Graham, who's a body.
Him and Jesper have a connection. What the fuck? Like everybody sees it. Something magical happens with these two. That's what you need on the field with him.
With Jesse James too. They had that preseason connection, him and Justin, and you don't see Jesse James on the. Yeah, but the point is that
without giving him a fair shot in training camp, why the fuck don't you put the guys that he was doing things with on the field? The chemistry, like there's just not this fucking team, man.
Doesn't make sense to do that, Brian. Would it make sense to do that?
Chemistry is huge, man.
That's why we don't do it. We don't do things that make common sense.
When things break down, chemistry is key. And shit has been breaking down so much this season. The fact that this fucking coach and GM haven't figured out to put the guys that Fields has shown to be able to work with that are on the same page with him is fucking ridiculous. It's fucking bullshit. And that's how you set a rookie up to fucking fail, man.
Yep.
And I'm not making excuses for Justin, all right? He's not the savior I thought he would be his rookie year, okay? But this kind of shit that they're putting him around, I'm sorry. I'm definitely
took an unnecessary sack.
I'm not willing to make a strong opinion on him until he gets a new coach in the year. I'm sorry, because this fucking offense, the way they built this team is bullshit.
Here's what I got to say about Fields. He should be better. He should be better. He's not talent proof, obviously, is he?
No, the offense. But
2nd and 10, and you're scrambling, and you're running backwards, and you're taking a 15-yard loss. We had 3 3rd and 20 pluses. 2 of them are because of Fields.
Well, the one was the holding on Jenkins, right? What was the other one? It was
sacks.
The sack, the hold. Was the other one a sack too?
I think it were both sacks.
I agree. That play is on Justin. I mean, Komet surely did not help him. I think as AA pointed out in the thread there, but he's got to get rid of that ball.
There's rookie shit going on. Yes.
The ball security.
11 games in.
The ball security is a concern.
Yeah. And I think you just said it, Jerry, 11 games in. So I think I am willing to admit that I was wrong, as Brian just alluded to, that he is not talent proof. I thought he would rise above more of the bullshit around him. He has not been perfect. There's a lot of plays out there that are strictly on him. I agree with you there. I just don't think I'm ready to make a full determination on is he or isn't he the guy after only 11 games in an offensive system that has proven to have been a failure with 5 quarterbacks now. I just want to see him in a new competent system with better wide receivers before I make a final determination on what.
Here's what I'm going to tell you: whenever you watch him drop back on a 7-step, his 7th step ends up being 9 and 10. It's almost a 10-step drop at times.
So he's taking an extra 1 or 2 hits.
He's taking an extra 1 or 2 steps, so the rush comes forward, right? And I get what he's trying to do in my head. I understand it because he's trying to create running lanes if he doesn't see. But he's not reading the coverage fast enough. He's behind. So when you're behind, you have to hold the ball longer. You can't do that shit in the NFL. You just can't. They eat you alive.
I also think that's a rookie thing, Jer, because he's trying not to bail too early. So by taking those extra steps and mentally while things are going through his head, it's probably just like I'm still staying centered as long as I can. But, you know what I mean? There's a balance there. And that is the thing with the drop ball. It's very concerning to me because we've seen the mechanics, the big windup. If that's something that needs to be worked on, right? And then you're also trying to work on ball security when you're supposed to be a QB that we can use with your legs. Like there's a lot to improve there. So I wish the ball security wasn't an issue, so we could just concentrate on whatever the next coach hopefully we get the right guy in here to develop him.
Who caused the
wants to
fumble?
correct.
Who caused that fumble? Was it a linebacker? Was it a lineman? No, it was a DB that's like half his size.
Yeah, he punched the ball out.
Because he had it right there. You know, he had it kind of high and tight, you know, like your cut. But a little hit. It was a brace with an elbow that caused the fumble.
We had 2 tonight, right?
2. Yeah, the one he recovered. The other one. Well, Monty had one. Fields had
Monty
2.
had one that
one of them he lost.
Yeah.
And to the put up that one in the chat, Jer. It's over. The first one, the dude should have sat for a year. So I think this is an interesting talking point, and it's something I've been talking to another buddy of mine heatedly about. So I think it all depends on how you view the season and what you are looking to get out of this year from Justin. So he's a rookie. You're gonna grow through some of these pains here. And yes, his mechanics aren't great. His processing speed needs to speed up. But does he accomplish any of that or learn any of that by sitting on the bench for a year?
No, he's gained more just for being out there, and he should have been this. Once he was drafted, the whole dynamic should have changed in the mindset of this coaching staff, and it should have been about giving him a fair shot, giving him reps with the ones, letting that play out the way it should have.
Here's where I'm going to kind of disagree with you just a little bit. Where you could have sat him. He could have done this stuff in practice, got his mechanics down more, held onto the ball. Those things can be taught in practice.
Practice squad can fuck with the guy too, because you're trying to be everybody else and not yourself.
That's true. That is true. But I'm just telling you that, you know, the second team reps are against the first team defense, right?
I'm talking about the scout team. Sorry, not the practice squad.
Yeah,
I think mechanically there is some validity to your point. I don't know if ball security is really going to be accomplished in practice because it's not like they're taking live hits. So I don't know if that's really a thing. But mechanically, I think that's valid.
And there's Yakub coming in hot.
You could have him put in work with a running back coach.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean,
if he's gonna run, I think it's got to be on the table.
Do some running shit with him, just for that ball security. He's already banged up a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm sure the ribs aren't 100%.
And the stat line doesn't. I mean, like we were talking about earlier, the stat line doesn't look horrible, but it's very hollow. I think he had 285 and a touchdown by the grace of God.
Guys were dropping balls too, and Jenkins had some drive killing shit go on. And you know what? Let me say this. Really, just please let me say this because I will lose it if I don't. Jenkins showed the fire that we wanted to see when somebody hits Justin.
Yeah. Yes, finally, somebody
making mistakes. I think he's going to get better, but I like that fight. And for Fetty to go up to him and try to talk sense into him, fuck that. That's exactly what we need out of our O-line. That nasty. So that was one positive with him. Then not one. He
actually kind of came along a little better in the second half. He gets lazy, man. You got to keep your elbows in when you start on that kick, man. Because what happens is if you don't, you end up wide. And what happens when you end up wide? You end up grabbing on the outside of the jersey. It's easy cut. Now, the holding call on, what was it? It was first quarter, I think. Yeah. The first one was very iffy, man.
He released on that one.
He released pretty quickly. I thought it was a shit call. And let's be honest, the NFL officiating was horrible both ways again. It really was. It was
that call on Bush was bullshit.
Why do 80-year-old men get to fucking be NFL officials? Why?
I don't understand. Dude was making a play for the ball.
Was that Tease Tabor or was that Bush when he was diving for Cook?
I thought it wasn't it. No,
Marquis Christian. You might be right. It was Marquis Christian. Wasn't
the defenseless receiver?
Oh, that one.
I'm talking for if we're going through penalties, let's go in the order like that. That was the first real big one. You know what I mean? Like that was a clean. That shouldn't have been called.
I gotta put this up. I'm tired of watching this team. How the hell have you watched them for 30 plus years? Ooh, there were good times and there were a lot of bad times, brother.
Since the Wannstedt years, yeah, it's been mostly bad. Sprinkling a couple of good Lovie Smith years, and it's been a rough go.
I agree. And your Tabor, you're talking about Tabor for the second?
Yeah, I think that was the one where
That was second half, yeah.
Yeah, Lyman was kicking out. And he went to
Oh,
go
the low
dive at
block?
Cook. Yeah, that was bullshit.
He got pushed lower than he
And
originally
he made
intended
the
to go.
tackle.
Yeah.
He made the tackle. I was so mad. I knew as soon as they threw the flag, it's like I knew it. It's like they're gonna call that fucking low block bullshit. Flag away. I was like, are you kidding me? Sorry.
But all things considered,
that was a motivation killer, though. That one.
Yeah, it was.
And good for the defense for honestly still fighting. They fought that whole game.
Yeah, not gonna lie, that ragtag secondary full of practice squad guys really I don't want to hand out a fucking participation trophy, but they really played their asses off. I really thought Justin was gonna set the record for receiving yards in a game. They held their own.
I mean, the talent's not there on the offense, but it's not like they didn't try. Effort wise, the effort was there till the last second. So I can't really it's just not it's not a talented group right now.
This is a legit comment. Decide playing man coverage with a safety on Justin Jefferson's a stupid idea. I agree, but I also think the positioning of the safety, you gave him a free release. You gave him 6 yards. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? You give him an option to go left or right.
You were in a comment zone, so let's go for some comments, Jer. What do you got?
See, Yakub in the chat.
Oh.
Hodgepodge secondary fought harder and more emphasis than our starters have all season. Agreed.
Hard to disagree with them on that one.
You got guys trying to put it on tape.
It's over says, man, who cares about stats? No shit.
Stats and gravy right here. I care. Nah, I really
It's brutal, man.
No, stats have a place, man.
They have a place. They're not the end all be all, but they have a place.
I mean, we're not. I don't think any of us are surprised that we lost to Minnesota. I picked.
I'm just surprised as it was as close as it was.
Stats back to the stats thing. It's a matter of convenience. If it supports your cause, you love them, right? If it doesn't, you fucking hate them. So let's not. I mean, shit. How long did we hold on to Walters every yard?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Stats do matter when they're.
Now, I made this comment in the chat. I said, you realize that we had a Hall of Fame, possibly best running back ever to play football, and it took them 8 years to build a team around him to get him to a Super Bowl.
10.
He was drafted in 77, right?
I thought it was 75.
I believe it was 77. Stats and gravy loading.
Either way, you have arguably most people consider him the best running back in the NFL ever.
Oh, shout out Diddy, 75.
Nice.
Go ahead, Diddy.
So it took 10 years. Took 10 years to figure that out with him.
It's over in the chat. I can't believe Nagy and Desai kept Graham in the doghouse. So that's a hot Twitter pulse that I've been seeing here during the game. So I heard one argument that said that his time spent on the practice squad may have been beneficial in leading him to play the way he did tonight. Others have said what he has echoed. Why the hell wasn't he on the field all year long? I think I would lean towards the latter. What do you guys think? Stats and duty.
Oh, snap.
Was the time spent on the practice squad beneficial for Thomas Graham in the way he played tonight, or was this more of an aberration and an indictment on this coaching staff not recognizing who should be on the fucking field?
Well, let me think who he's covering in practice.
What's the comment?
I'm throwing it to y'all. Well, it was throwing it to y'all based on a comment in the chat by It's Over.
Wow, we used to get comments like that when you used to comment in the chat. I like that.
Ooh, throwing it back to my chat days, huh?
I like that hot buttered biscuit right now.
So
he just threw a homemade biscuit at you, Jerry.
I'm ready.
All right.
He's not covering anybody in practice, right? Who's he covering? If our receivers suck, like everybody says they do,
then shouldn't he be showing out in practice and just
you would think
a lockdown force capable of being on the field?
Theoretically, yes.
I mean, theoretically, when you've seen, sorry, Diddy, real quick, when you've seen Duke Shelley out there for how long, Marquis Christian, Kindle Vildor. I mean, at what point, it's the same staff that took them how many games to yank Rashad Coward out of the fucking lineup. I feel like it's a similar situation here.
Tonight he made the play that Artie Burns should have made a week ago.
I started hyper-focusing on him because I was really impressed with how he started. So, like, on the defensive plays, I was watching him. And the kid has instincts that are hard to coach into a player. So if you already have him, you're at an advantage. The kid is instinctual, man. Like, he's got a nose for the ball. He's not afraid to come in and hit somebody. Yeah, man. Like, that kid should have been at the least got a shot at nickel early, the way nickel's been for us.
Yeah.
I like the kid, man. Like, I know it's one game, sure, but all things stacked against us tonight. He was a bright spot, man. Big time.
He took a key component of the Minnesota offense away. Tyler Conklin, believe it or not. And I told him they love him. Minnesota loves that dude. Cousins loves him. What they try to do, they tried to one-on-one with him. He did a great job. He was trying to in the end zone route where he gets the tip and the knockdown. Yeah. He's there. Actually, he could have picked it.
Was that the play you were referencing that Burns should have made last week?
No, the one that Burns should have made is they tried to throw over the top of him where Thomas Graham gets his hand up and tips it away. Gotcha. Where Artie Burns jumps a little too early and misses it, and it's a completion, first down. And maybe making things simpler is better for the DBs, you think?
Yeah, it's not something this coaching staff's ever going to do. Nothing's ever simple, offensively, defensively. It's just never been that way here in 4 years.
What'd they say back in the Levy days? What'd they say they ran like 6 defenses, basically, just different variations of cover too, right? Simple is easy. It takes guys out of thinking, man. I'm just saying.
I'm thinking on them thinking less.
Thinking less, it makes you react more.
No, I mean, I think it's especially smart if you're dealing with a bunch of young, inexperienced guys. Yeah, the less you put on their plate, the faster they're going to end up playing. I 100% agree with that.
Wouldn't that be nice if we had a coach that thought that way on offense?
God.
Yeah. By the way, what the fuck was that 4th and 1, 4th and 2 call down there? Where
the 4th and 1 call? You want to know what that is? It's called your center gets 0 push, and he never gets pushed. So you've got to run a trick play to the side.
But who was the play action? The play action was to the air. Like there was some sort of miscommunication in the backfield where there was someone supposed to.
You got to run that. You got to run that stupid shit because you can't punch people in the mouth and get a first down on 4th and 1.
Yeah,
those are the times you should be able to do that. And he loves running on first down, which I'm fine with. Like in a mix, but like it is, Jared, but it's also a down that the defense is most neutral in my opinion. That's a high success rate pass play time, and it's just naggy, man. He's just once he gets stuck in a mode, he just doesn't snap out of it. It's very fucking. That's another disadvantage for Fields is how obvious our offense is. They know they can pin their ears back on second down.
Yeah, that screen pass they had telegraphed and called that out the Vikings defense perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Very predictable. And yeah, it's over in the chat. Mustafa sucks. Yeah, shout out Lewis Riddick, who made the comment during the broadcast that Mustafa has been solid for us.
I don't know if Monty's
mute hurt. That guy.
Sorry, why? I don't know if Monty's hurt, but like he did come off gimpy when he got hit out of bounds. He came back in the game though, so I don't know. I didn't check any status update. I didn't listen to Nagy because
he did that catch on the sideline.
Yeah, I just don't know if he's on an injury report or something. I haven't listened to the post game shit.
Coming soon.
It didn't. He looked gimpy when he came up, but
brutal.
And it's crazy because like the way the game ended, it was like illegal shift, Herbert drop, throwaway. Graham. Was there a Graham catch in there?
Yeah, one catch for 13 yards.
There it is.
Earning that $5 million.
Waste of money.
It just kind of was a cluster. They ended up pulling that off, though. That, like, again, where's Horsted been?
Same as it always is.
I don't want to get back on that whole tangent, but like that, it's a problem, man.
He's obviously faster in and out of his breaks or something. There's something with him where he's just
They trust
better.
each other,
Yeah,
so
they love each other.
no. I mean, that's what I expected to be in more of a. The whole season sucked on a whole, but like I expected to be in a way more negative place after this game going in. I mean, this was a tough one with everything stacked against them, and I'm not giving. One of the coaches got through to them, so sure. If I give credit to Nagy, I guess that's unfashionable. But dudes came out to play, whether it was just self motivation. I don't know where the fire was found, but there was fire there.
I think there's a pretty good hate for anything Minnesota in that locker room.
Whatever works, but. Yeah, I mean, we didn't say that we saw some of that fire in Green Bay, but they just got worn out. But
yeah, I think the old adage of playing hard for the coach is sort of overblown. I mean, a lot of these guys are still trying to put team together to get jobs, after this season as well.
Akeem Hicks makes a big difference emotionally too. I really feel that he just does. He brings fire. He's just a different cat.
When he's healthy,
is that another Kramer? Sorry.
It's a Kramer overload. It's my brother.
Ooh.
This is what I deal.
Damn, both
Pony's brother.
Yeah. Viking weeks are tough.
Even Matt Nagy's in the chat.
Oh, Matt Nagy has entered the chat. Hey, Matt, I have to say I loved your fire going after the refs tonight. If there's one positive, good comment I could give you this year, shout out to you, man. I think you were justified both times going after those fuckers.
I agree.
It was nice to see a pulse, man.
Yeah.
If the ship's going down, like I'd rather have some asshole press conferences. To be honest, I haven't seen tonight's. I doubt it was there, but like go out at least like with something entertaining.
Yeah.
Like speak your mind now, bro. It's like time's running out, but he's probably looking for a second job. So. Being the realtor
if he's at that press conference and he doesn't bring up that officiating, if both coaches don't bring up that officiating, it was horrible. It was horrible.
The one thing I will say about the only thing that was redeeming for the shit night that I think they had was when they actually went back and that hit Kendricks put on Fields.
Yeah.
That's a tricky one. He keeps his head up a lot. I don't know.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It was a hit in the end zone, right? The hit in the end zone is the one that they also
where he drove him
back on. Yeah,
that's probably the correct call because he drove him into the ground and with body weight.
I think it was Riddick, dude. He brought up a good point. When he slides high. He keeps his head up. Most QBs are down because they don't want to take that shot. Like that's another thing.
Yeah, he's got to get better.
He's just got to get a little bit better at that too. That's just dangerous, man.
Yep, it'll shorten your career by a lot.
I don't know how I was worried about the concussion from where he took the hit, plus the whole seizure piece. Like, I'm like, holy shit, he just got rocked. I don't know if those two correlate, but I was just nervous, man. That was a shot. Like,
the way he laid there too kind of had me worried for a split second.
I don't know how he didn't get checked. Like,
well, he has to beg for the flag at the end zone.
No, I mean, I don't know how he didn't get checked out for concussion after that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I figured they'd say, hey, wait a second, let's check you out. I mean, that was a blast, dude.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree, brother.
Is Donnie a Vikings fan?
Oh, my whole family's a Vikings fan. I'm the only one that's not.
Then why?
It's all right.
Why are you even putting them up?
Because he's right.
It's been three Kramers tonight. What is this?
It's a Kramer sandwich, baby.
Oh my god!
A lot of meat. A lot of meat.
Pause.
This was a good old, and I mean, all things considered, being down the guys who were down, this was it still was a throwback, kind of like there's a lot of our offense needs a lot of work, but it was an old school NFC North game.
Yeah, typical Bears offense.
Yeah, I
Of
mean,
late.
I'm not going to deny it.
We almost had 400 yards of offense.
As a whole, we suck right now. So we're just trying to look forward at the young pieces at this point, and hopefully Fields shows something that gets us excited about going into the next season.
The main problem I had on offense tonight, and I think you've hit it a couple times here tonight, Diddy, there obviously is a talent gap here. It's just not a talented team on that side of the ball. But for most of that game, it's relatively close, 10 points. Then it went up 17-3. But you still had Fields drop back near 40 times. Monty got 18 carries. And I don't even think Herbert even got a single carry. I know he caught some balls out of the backfield, but I mean, that run-pass ratio, it's the same thing that I railed on Nagy about with Mitch is if you know Mitch has limitations right now, or back in the day, which Justin has limitations right now as a rookie quarterback, passing game has struggled all year long. You're the number 7 rushing team in the NFL. Why are you not changing your run-pass ratio to be more run-heavy, especially in a close game? That's the thing that continues to drive me mad about this play calling.
But the thing that continues to drive me crazy is I want Nagy out, right? And the reason being is our offense sucks.
Correct.
That's
the hard analysis that we're here for.
I don't really care like who's going to stick, who's not. When I'm talking about this, the offense sucks. No matter who he's been given, he hasn't been able to make it work. And I think the only disheartening thing to me with Fields really is how he's been coached up, because I don't know how much effort they're putting into making him better long term right now. I don't know if the mindset's there. There's things that could have been, I think, corrected by now. I think the focus is just to get the game plan going, because that's what Nagy, that makes Nagy look good. Like I don't.
What's the game plan there?
There isn't a fucking game plan. Offense, and you think Nagy, like, okay, now you have more time on your hands. Yes, you're trying to be the head coach too, but this is the kid that you wanted here, and how much time has been freed up for you not having to come up with the offensive game plan, right? If Lazer's doing it, to just go back to your QB coach days and work with this kid.
Well, that
like,
I would like to be honest.
If he's had how much is.
Let's be honest.
That's been done.
If he's had this free time, where's the progression? Where is it?
Oh yeah, I think that's Diddy's point there. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, there's no progression by Justin. I mean, I feel like at times he regresses.
There's been a little, but to be fair, I think there is progression.
There's some
from
maturity.
Game
Yeah.
1. I think he has grown in some areas, but I think
Where
we
he
all think he should be further along than what he is right now, despite the lack of talent around him.
And it hurts to see other guys be successful.
Yeah.
Look at Mac Jones.
I mean, quick game, Justin looks good. Run quick game.
Yeah.
You don't wait until desperation. Play desperate.
Yep.
That's the thing too, is like there's no fucking reason why the Detroit Lions rolling out Goff, Reynolds, Amon-Ra, St. Brown should have a better looking functional offense than the Bears. There's no reason why Davis Mills and the Texans down there in Houston should be more offensively competent than we are.
There's no reason not to have consistency from a young QB with his skill set.
Nope.
They don't. It's beyond this coaching staff. That's why I want everybody shit canned.
It's got to go higher too. Like we've said for a long time, like everybody said, I hate to be that echo chamber, but in this case, the echo chamber is probably right. You got to shake it up all the way to the top.
Oh, it's right. And I think the main argument that I've heard in pro pace is the one that drives me the fucking craziest is, well, he's not the worst GM in the league. It could be a lot worse. Sure, it could be a lot worse. But what is worse? Fear of it being worse than it currently is, or sticking with something that you know has proven not to work? It's 7 years, sub 500, 0 playoff wins, more questions than answers moving forward. And everyone's railing against Nagy. Well, who the fuck hired him?
Yep.
Why would we want him hiring another coach yet again? And why do we trust him to build this thing around Fields?
You don't.
I mean,
It just drives me mad.
How many mistakes does Khalil Mack coming here to help give us a one really good season shadow over all the bullshit with Pace? Take Khalil Mack out of the equation and let's talk. It hasn't been great. And it's because you draft, you miss, you pay too much to cover up your draft mistake, but you don't bring in anybody going forward to correct your mistake to fucking develop so you don't have to overpay.
It's 1-800 rent a player.
It's patching holes, and here we are.
Great analogy. Patching holes on a sinking ship constantly. You're constantly moving from one side of the ship to the other to keep patching a hole.
It's putting a Band-Aid over a shotgun wound.
We didn't hire a fucking medic, bro.
No, we did not.
And
we need one because Jakeem Grant.
I'm just saying, in those mid rounds. So, like, why don't you have
talent?
But here's my thing with that.
Pace is Patch Adams, bro. Put a little clown nose on his ass.
Shout out Robin Williams. So he has success in the mid rounds. I think we all agree with that. So why does he lack the self-awareness to trade back down in the mid rounds and acquire more of those picks? Why is he constantly moving up in the second round, which he can't hit shit in for his guys?
Okay, the first time you trade up for quarterback.
I'm a little dusty here. Monty, what round?
Monty was a third rounder. His trade up into the second rounds, he traded up for Anthony Miller, which we know how that turned out. Traded up for Adam Shaheen. I believe he traded up for James Daniels, and I think he stood pat and took Cody where he was at. I don't think he traded up for Cody.
Traded up for Jenkins.
Traded up for Jenkins, which I don't entirely fault him for that. I think the strategy of trading up for a quarterback in the first round who probably shouldn't have fallen that far to begin with, and then following it up with two massive nasty tackles,
who at the time we thought was first round talent too.
100%. I'm a big Pace hater, but I do not fault that draft strategy. But when you do that, everything else has to work with it, and then you come to find out that the medical wasn't there. That was a flawed process.
And taking Justin out of it because it's way too early. Besides Roquan.
Floyd, which wasn't terrible.
Eddie for a little bit.
Floyd wasn't a bad pick, especially
Eddie as a whole. I can't really, even though I'm pissy with
both Eddies.
Jackson or Goldman. I mean,
yeah.
For a couple of years there, Goldman played solid football, though. He might not be the player he was, but
even guys that contribute on a regular basis are a success in the draft, bro.
He got called out tonight on the broadcast.
You get a starter out of the draft, you've actually succeeded. Yeah. For several seasons.
Moving forward, Angelo Blackson or Eddie Goldman?
Blackson, cheaper.
Agreed. And it's not close.
Yeah.
Because Blackson gets push.
And I was the one thumping for Eddie, preseason and to begin the season on the pod. And I really can't defend him anymore.
How often is Blackson in 3-man fronts though?
He's the nose a couple times.
Also a fair point. I really was hoping maybe Bilal could maybe put on a little bit more weight and move in, but
he's just not.
Yeah, I like what Blackson's.
Think that's going to happen.
I like what Blackson's bringing. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I'd really have to go. Sounds like a brutal process right now. We'd have to go back and actually look at everything.
No thanks.
Well, watch that tape again.
No, we're good.
Yakub's comment too about Trey Burton's, and I think we talked about this in the thread this week, is Pace's talent for offense is severely limited compared to
here's what I've said. I've said this before too, but I'll say it again because
projections are bad especially with free agents.
Physically talent, he can pick physical talent. He cannot. The mental talents are where he lacks in drafting. Guys are freaks that are fast. Yeah, he can get those guys. Are they smart enough?
Roquan's
Anthony Miller.
Animal.
He does have a profile for athletic, high upside type guys.
Yep.
But outside of running back, I struggle to identify a single offensive position that he's drafted well. Tight ends, Deion Sims, Trey Burton, Adam Shaheen. I know some of those were free agent signings, Sims and
Ben
Burton.
Broniker.
Ben Broniker, Cole Kmet, Jimmy Graham contract. I mean, tight end's just been an absolute disaster for him. Wide receiver, Allen Robinson, okay, Darnell Mooney.
But this goes to Brian's argument. Why do you have Allen Robinson here?
Kevin White.
There you
Yeah,
go.
no, 100%. Yeah, great point. Great point.
And that really didn't patch too much of a hole, did it?
No.
Yeah, it patched it, but it was still sort of leaking. It's not an ideal patch.
Yeah, the patch isn't as strong as it was after the first season.
Correct. It was not a Mighty Mend It type patch.
No, it's like one of those.
They ain't no flex deal up in here.
Yeah.
Shout out to
seen on TV. Yeah.
But wait, there's more.
This Bears season is like one of my steaks going around on a Ronco rotisserie machine, just cooking. Every ounce of enjoyment just being cooked out of it.
I put a tweet out there as I'm just ready for the Brandon Parker countdown at this point.
I saw that.
It's like just.
Oh yeah, and who's the David Bell? Someone was tweeting that. Oh well, David Bell's not going to come here because Brandon Parker is his agent. David Bell does not have any input by who he's drafted by, and he's
Parker
not
doesn't give a shit either. Whatever the best deal for his client. Come on,
exactly.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
That's just nonsense. More Bears Twitter nonsense. Tight end may not be a disaster. We have no idea what we have in Horsted. Yeah. I mean, even if Horsted is a hit, it took like 5 fucking swing and misses to get there.
And I think Kmet will
Horsted.
Kmet is up and down, but I think he will get better. So him and Horsted, I like that combo.
Leading receiver tonight, Cole Kmet.
Yep.
I like that combo though going forward. Those two. Because I think Jasper needs more run.
The ball that Fields threw over top of the defender's head to Cole across the middle in the fourth quarter, when I was about ready to just jump off a cliff. All right, now that's something I could fucking get behind. But why does it take it? I mean,
well, and even that sequence where he threw 2 touchdowns, but dudes either didn't get their feet in or dropped it back to back.
Yeah.
Like there's signs there. It's just even when Dalton's in, the shit don't look good.
True.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So
agreed.
I'm all with Fields. Yes, he hasn't. I thought he would come in and make people better around him quicker. Because I based it off. I love the kid in the draft. I like what I saw out of Ohio State. I saw a lot of things that like people were complaining
it's
about.
It's like watching the Indiana game every week.
No, but
only he never pulls out.
You just want to mention that you just needed to take your little Hoosier, stick your
no.
Little Hoosier balls
I'm taking a realistic point of view that this kid's struggling right now. He needs to read defenses faster. He's not reading them faster. That's why he has to take deeper. That's why he's got to take deeper drops. That's why he's got to do all this shit to cover it up.
Starts though, Jer.
All I was trying to
tell that to Mac Jones.
Okay, tell that to Josh Allen, who looked like dog shit for his whole entire first year.
You know what those two have in common? QBRs.
I'm just saying, I would throw caution to the wind about making any final determinations on a quarterback.
I haven't made a final determination. I'm just saying he should fucking be better.
I agree there. I agree. And I've already said I was wrong. I think Brian admitted the same thing. I think we thought he would rise above a lot of other factors so far.
Jay, he's fast. Win. Fucking win.
No, I think there's more to him than that, Jared. Come on, man.
Jared's giving him the full Lamar Jackson treatment.
Yeah, no, I mean.
No, he's not Lamar Jackson. He shouldn't be played as such. But yet somehow this fucking team decides, by hook or by crook, he ends up leading the team in rushing attempts. Does he not? Damn near it. He had 13 tonight.
Monty had the most rushing attempts tonight. You mean on the season?
No, I'm just saying tonight.
He had 7. He had 7 rushing attempts today. Montgomery had 18.
I thought he had 13 today.
Stats and gravy, 7.
Stats matter sometimes. See how that works.
Supports your.
Whatever supports our narrative.
Yeah,
That's not including the sacks, right?
yeah. I think
fumbles.
he doesn't run as much as Lamar, and he runs way safer. I mean, especially after he that's one thing where he matured, where he's trying to
And I
slide
say,
now.
he seems like he played better after that. It's like, oh, he got his bell rung. Now he's fucking in the game or some shit. I don't get it. Did you see that too? I mean, am I?
Yeah,
not
but
the
that's
only one?
that's that like MJ Kobe fucking killer instinct that once you want you just woke me up kind of thing. Like the dudes that ball have that in them. Like, oh, you just pop me, fuck this, let's go. You know, I'm not. I kind of like that. Like, I think
Yep.
that's a positive.
It's a
man.
dog, man. He can be a dog. It's just like
there's positives.
it's almost like crack
there.
him in the head before the game starts. I don't know.
But the things that we're complaining about with him are way less than 10. He's further ahead.
But if 10 was playing like this, pitchforks, and it would be.
Well, hold on now. I don't know if there was a whole lot of
rookie
heavy
season-
criticism his rookie season. I don't ever remember there being a whole lot of Mitch hate in
Oh, it was-
2017.
No,
Cuddle Mitch, baby Mitch.
It really didn't
baby
start-
Mitch. Oh, hi, baby
it
Mitch.
didn't start till the second,
Then
the
Tail end of
the second season.
2018. Exactly.
3 years later. Oh, baby Mitch. Oh, you're so cute. Oh,
Well, I think
did
once
you have
he said-
sex?
Well, I think Mitch is also leading to some of the frustration
Whoa.
that you have with Justin, Jared. Because
Right.
It's like
That is
you
fair.
want-
That is a fair statement.
we are being impatient because we want it so bad. But I think this kid does have a lot for fans to look forward to. Like I'm not writing him off yet. There's no way.
Yeah, he made another comment too. At Trubiscuits and Gravy, still like the steak I made? ? Tag me on Twitter. I will review your steak.
It'll be a terrible review if
If not
it
well
looks like it should be.
done, be prepared. It's going to be
And
a
that's
bad
gonna be-
Yelp review.
That's going to be even more frustrating, right? Because if we bring a new coach in, then needs to be another year of
Another system.
learning a system. So
Start.
I think you really got to hammer. I think that in the offseason, man, you really got to hammer basics with him. You got to keep him in the pocket. You got to figure out not to take 8, 9, 10 yards drops.
put the line in front of him.
Thank you. I think it would help if the center wasn't constantly being pushed back into said pocket. That's where it needs to start.
James Daniels had one atrocious.
I was referring to
Whiff.
Mustafa, but
I know it.
Sure.
who's in the backfield on almost every single
Yes.
fucking play.
And unfortunately, some of that has to be the talent in front of him to allow him just to play the way he needs to do the things that maybe aren't perfect, right? But let him to set him up to be able to beat you with the things that he can beat you with. They haven't built the offensive line around him to be able to compensate for the extra things he needs to play his style. That has to be factored in. There's only so much you can change a guy this talented. Like you got to let him be able to be comfortable in the pocket. There's a lot to this. I don't think he has to change. I don't think he should have to change too much because the talent's not there versus building the talent around him. Maybe correct a few things, but you still have to let him be himself to a degree. Like
I don't disagree with that completely, but I just
And you have to live through some of these growing pains as a rookie. That's just
it's frustrating.
100%. It is 100%. I think we all thought he'd
I
be
can't
further
even,
along at this point. I agree.
The turning the ball over thing it's just too much. It's happening too much. The fumbles,
the ball security is concerning. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we've
Not
said
even
that, and
arguing with
I'm
that.
sorry that I feel like I keep going back to that. But when we talk about Justin, I feel like that's a big damn deal. That's a
Yeah.
drive killer.
But a
You
disclaimer
took
at the
points
same
off the
time,
board.
Nobody can prophesize what his career is going to play out like.
No, absolutely
This is
not.
completely just fan hypothetical. Like that's all it
Very
is.
reactionary. This is a reactionary show.
Yeah, but it
tonight.
doesn't have to be you're in this group or this group. Like it's just it's
It's TBD.
It's all hypothetical. You don't have to be like either you're in the Justin fan club or you're out of it. We all want to see him succeed. I don't think anybody in our fan base is at that point yet.
No,
You know what I mean? Where
absolutely
it's like you get to that point of hatred, like people did with Mitch,
Mitch.
where you want to. It's almost like back of your mind. Oh yeah, I want to prove them wrong. None of us should want anybody to fail here. Like I
No,
want Justin. I want him to be that dude, man. I still think I don't think we're off from him being that guy. You just need to get the right staff in here to work with him.
It's as big of a and critical of an off season as I can ever remember.
And we're not even there yet. We've still got Seattle next.
Oh, we're there. I mean, like,
I
come on, man. Like,
know. Well, I mean, I'm saying that by the calendar, we're not there yet.
When's the last time you went into a game with this miserable of a mindset about this team?
True.
Last year.
Yeah. I was very apathetic.
Maybe the year before that.
Very apathetic all year long. I have not reached this level of apathy in quite some time. Probably worse than like that 2016 John Fox year, where I just really did not.
Because you had hope. You had hope of a draft pick. We don't even have that.
And this is on the Chicago Bears for us losing to the Vikings, going in with such a bad attitude about it, and actually finding positives because that's how much we love this team.
Yep.
Yeah.
True.
Change needs to happen, man. I mean, we're a passionate fan base. We are. Whether it's some people go off the reservation on both sides, but ultimately, like, we all want the same thing, man, and it's just frustrating. It's just fucking frustrating. I really
don't
hope
care if all my takes are wrong. I just want to see a winner before I die.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I just hope they get this shit right. I hope they restructure the way it needs to be done, man, and I hope we can just move forward, like, finally get it right. Like it.
I agree. Yeah. So we got to talk about it. Do we have a offensive goat of the game? Can you find one? Silence is deafening.
Damn. Yeah, it's
I'll go first, and it's going to be based on one play.
I already know what you're going to say.
Who am I going to say?
Jesper Horsted.
No.
Oh, okay.
Tevin Jenkins for watching his quarterback get hit, for him standing up and not taking the shit like these other bitches do on this offensive line. They just, it's okay. Good on you, Tevin Jenkins. Goddamn, that's how you play offensive lineman. That's what this offensive line misses. Fire. Balls. He's not perfect. No, he's not. But at least he's got the balls to stand up to somebody instead of just get bullied.
Agreed. I think
so. There's my go to the game.
It's over. Agrees with the two. The O-line.
For a penalty.
They played well as a whole, though. I mean,
that's what I'm saying, though. That's just
God, this is where we are, though. This is where this team
I understand what you're saying, though. Like, that's the passionate side of the fan base, bro. That's how much we love this team. That a dude that actually showed fire to protect our fucking future franchise guy that we all hope he is, fucking showed some fire and got on motherfucker's face, man. Like
Jermaine Ifedi, don't you do that?
No,
don't do that. That's bad.
I love that. I love that mindset. I do. It's all right, man. It's all right that's what I'm saying. We're looking for signs, right?
Yeah. Speaking of penalties, Yokub in the chat, Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields said that he's frustrated with the penalties from the offense and wants there to be some sort of punishment for it. Fields said running a lap in practice is one example. He said that they did that in Ohio State. Any thoughts on that, boys?
That would require leadership from a coaching standpoint. And it also would require it would require the collective bargaining agreement. I don't know if they can do that.
We're on a lap?
If it's physical, man, it depends on.
Are they in a step count, bro? They got,
I don't know.
2021 wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. but-
I'm just saying.
5,000 steps. No, coach, I'm not running that lap. Fuck God, if it's that soft, my fucking goodness, bro. Like,
Well, you got to have guys that buy into that philosophy too, and I don't know that they're on this team.
I like the leadership though of him saying that.
Why does
Some
he have to be?
accountability.
Why
Yeah,
does
go
he
ahead,
have to be the leader? Why can't the coach say that?
Because
know.
this
Why
team
can't that
is
happen?
devoid of any other type of leadership outside of, shockingly, Robert Quinn on defense and Justin and Monty on offense.
I mean, how much has the collective bargaining agreement changed with that shit since? I mean, when I saw the Patriots Bears training camp,
Yeah.
Belichick's after in the heat all day, he makes them go run a hill as a team. Yeah. After it's all over, the Bears actually join with them. I mean, that's pretty strenuous after in the heat. Like I think you can run.
I'm just saying, I don't know. I mean, you get players pissed off because, well, he's got us running. He's mean. You know, you think of who's the guy that used to coach at Carolina, and then he was with the Giants too. Was it John? Was it Fossil?
I mean, Biscuits, you and I grew up playing ball, like basketball. We fucked up in practice. We had to run
Suicides, yeah.
They sucked.
Late to practice of football, you'd run commandos.
Well,
Some of y'all ever done those? Terrible.
Imagine doing that on a football field. That's what we had to do. If you were late to summer conditioning.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
had
that's
bear
different. I
crawl,
mean, it's
100
pro.
yards. Crab crawl. 100
5,
yards.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, it's fucking, I'm fat and dying.
I think Chris brings up another good point too. He says there's no way that gets past the McCaskies. Your franchise quarterback is calling out the leadership in year one, and I don't know if they need any more signals that leadership is lacking and the snaggy thing's a failed experiment. But I think it is an indictment. And it's just more things that trickle out from players. Jalen Johnson's comments, now Fields' comments. I think even Robert Quinn made a comment about everyone doing their 111th. Why is it taking Robert Quinn to do that?
Well, I mean, maybe Justin will be running laps tomorrow then if that's what he wants.
Yeah, he'd be leading the way.
If he was leading the way on those laps, yeah, that.
I'm just saying.
I can lie. The meatball in me would love that. Like that's
pro football is a different animal. Those guys, some of those guys ain't running.
All right, fine. Then you suspend their TikTok privileges for a week. How about that?
Right. That's how that works.
I don't know. I mean, if you can't make them run a lap,
if they're not going to run a lap, and you kick them off the fucking team.
Jesus.
That would require strong leadership. All right. Anyway, back to the original thing.
So,
you guys have
goat
any other
of the game,
offensive goat?
Yep. Brian, I'll let you go first.
I'll say Justin, man. I think there was a lot going on. There's a lot going on in this season for rookie quarterback. All right. I'm not gonna sit here and fluff him and be some truther or anything, but man, he played it right tonight. Yes, there were rookie mistakes. Like I've said, the ball security is definitely something to be concerned about. But like, man, what a fucking clusterfuck this kid came into, and especially this week. The offense wasn't great, but we had opportunities. There were drops. There were a lot of shit happened. Justin held the ball too long sometimes. Got sacked out of basically momentum. But I'm far from even thinking about giving up on this kid. There's a lot there. I just think he does need to make some corrections, man. But I think like for a new coach coming in, there's a lot there. So it's not like the offense was spectacular and I'm really missing out on anybody here.
Yeah, true.
So I give it to Justin.
My go to the game goes to Cody Whitehair because I didn't hear his name one time. So I'm just going to assume he played well.
Okay. Well, there's that. I just can't.
I mean, I can't give it to Monty. He only had 57 yards. He fumbled.
No, you can't give it to Monty.
Mooney didn't do a whole lot. Bird, yeah, that one throw was high down there in the red zone, but you got to fucking catch that, dude.
The muffed punt and then
The muff punt.
Yeah, muff punt
That was-
too. Daz Newsome, you get an opportunity and you're offsides on offense, so you're not getting to go to the game.
No, he was not prepared. He wasn't ready for that jump.
And I'll say, Jer, your guy early on this year, Fetty, besides, I think the thing that I'm most upset about with him is trying to correct Tevin Jenkins on that
Which
penalty.
I
Other
don't.
than that, he didn't
I'm
play
not
that
too
bad.
mad at him about that. I mean, he's just trying not to get the guy penalized. He's pissed because it puts him in a worse hole, but I get it.
I think it was a necessary penalty.
I think
I
Sorry, go ahead.
The guy Fetty coming off IR and playing tonight and playing like he did.
Didn't play bad.
Yeah,
didn't
but
play
if you're giving Jenkins the best player on our offense, and Fetty's the one that tried talking him down from that mindset, so fuck a Fetty.
Okay. Fuck a Fetty.
That's why I gave it to Cody. Cody created no controversy, and I didn't hear his fucking name all night long. Go ahead, Cody. Have a game. Go to defense. Jer, you kick it off.
No, I kicked it off last time.
Okay. Diddy, do you want to kick it off? Or-
Yeah, and
I won't take
this
the easy one.
this leads me to what I was gonna say before. Is like big ups to AA, man, because like when we start getting into the draft, he'll get into it, right? But he's like, whatever. But man, Thomas Graham was after the draft, he was high on him, and this kid, that's my dude. That's my dude on defense, man. I was very impressed with what I mean. He held it down, bro. Like that, there was some veteran shit we were seeing out of this kid tonight, and it's one game, sure. I'm just pissed off he hasn't been out there more this season. The what he showed tonight, hats off to him, man. That was a hell of a freaking game. Like I was super impressed.
Same.
Yeah.
If I'm going to pick a different guy, as much as I want to pick 96, I'm actually going to pick 44. Alec Ogletree had himself a pretty damn good game. He was in the backfield a lot. He met their running backs in the hole and buried them repeatedly. Dude had a good game. A guy worthy of maybe coming back.
Yeah.
On a reduced deal or something, nothing crazy.
At least as a stopgap, since you have
Yes.
so many holes everywhere else and you're short on capital, I would not totally hate that. He carried the tight ends well in coverage at times.
You see how important they were tonight. You saw how important the tight ends were for Cousins.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can take those guys away, makes it real hard on him.
I mean, it's tough too because there's a lot of names we could talk about on the.
Yeah, the
on
defense
Yeah.
actually balled the fuck out.
Like,
You
I feel
guys
I
took
feel
my
bad
top
that.
two.
I mean, there's other guys. but go
I
ahead.
would go with Sean Desai, a guy that I have been very hard on the past couple weeks.
Fuck that guy.
I don't think he's it as a defensive coordinator, but I do think he gets credit for getting this young practice squad-ish secondary ready to play. And besides those two miscommunications in the back end, I thought that defense overall played solid, played fast, played together. So I'm going to give it to Sean Desai so I don't repeat by taking Ogletree or Graham.
Yeah, but you that's your coach of the game. Who's your player of the game on defense?
Coach of the game.
I didn't know we were doing a coach of the game segment. Jesus.
Me either, but you freaking did it.
All right. All right. You know what? I'll take old man Akeem Hicks, a guy that
I like it.
a lot of
Sure.
people said was mailing it in effort wise. I did not see that to be the case tonight. Played well tonight.
I agree. Robert Quinn got 2 sacks. He got the strip sack.
Let's do honorable
2.
mentions because they're
Yeah.
out there. I think
He's up
Roquan
there.
Start off on fire.
Yep.
Yeah, way he split that.
Playing with
double
a
team.
hammy. Yeah, that was
That was
elite.
nasty. Yeah.
Deion Bush played decent.
Him
Fucking
giving
Deez
up. that-
Tabor didn't play bad, man.
You know what?
Deez Tabor did not play bad at all.
All right, let me.
Let's
rephrase
have that
it.
discussion
Deion
about
Bush-
Eddie.
Deion Bush had moments.
Let's have that discussion about the other Eddie. Defense looked a hell of a lot better without him. And let's also since you picked Graham, I just want to say it's amazing that I didn't know this, but our DBs are actually allowed to wrap people up and tackle them. Did you know that? It's a new development. It just happened tonight.
You mean they don't
That
have
guy
to
wraps.
dive at their feet? in
Yeah,
the dirt?
and even if he does, he just gets around guys, man.
Veteran. He has a veteran presence about him, which is impressive for a kid starting his first game. Like those things are huge, man. Like I said, all the things he showed tonight that you don't have to coach. That's awesome. He's mature. He's a very mature rookie.
For the first time in a long time, the defensive line and the DBs worked together.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like speed wise, I think there will be times where he gets beat.
Yeah,
but he's solid. He's very solid. What he showed tonight. Like I'd like to see him out in the field more. I think some of these guys deserve a chance, especially if who's cashing it in. Like if that is legit, they weren't on the field tonight for the most part.
No, they were not.
Just saying.
I think his level of play tonight was higher than anything you've seen of Duke Shelley all year long.
I really like Tease Tabor too. I just do.
There was an energy.
Hold on to that fucking ball though, but
I didn't expect the energy and effort I saw tonight going into this game. That was impressive to me, and maybe my bar was so low that I did find some things that I was happy about. And whatever, it hits you when it hits
you. Time.
Right?
It's time for youth to be served. It's time. There's nothing for you to coach for other than to try to get these guys on film and get them reps in the NFL to see what they have.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at is just the guys for the future and to see what
I agree
to carry into the next season.
Cut Jimmy Graham immediately.
I agree. It's just hard. It's a twofold issue. I agree. The younger guys should be playing, seeing what you have for next year, getting those developmental reps in. It's just hard to do that when you have a coach who's likely on the way out. He's not. That's just not.
Well,
really
if he's really a good coach and he's a leader of men,
but he's not, and he's not.
They were forced to do this. They had no other choice.
Yeah, exactly.
But all I'm saying is I took some positive out of. Otherwise, we knew what the outcome of the game. We knew we were losing. It's not, you know what I mean. But I saw a fight. I didn't think we'd actually have the chances we had to stay in this game. I thought it was going to be more of a blowout.
I agree.
I think you said it best earlier. Like the Vikings really didn't beat us. We kind of just beat ourselves.
We served it on a platter.
You know?
It's like, oh, here.
L's are L's, and we do suck ultimately, right? I get
always find a way.
Bad teams find a way to shoot themselves in the foot.
God, I'm a hopeless romantic with this team sometimes, man.
I know it.
It's over. I have one last question about the offense. Why Graham getting paid $8 million a year if you can't catch or move? Yep, dude, right there with you, brother.
He's the NFL Man of the Year candidate.
And shout out to him. I think my criticism of Jimmy all year long has never been about Jimmy the man.
Oh no,
about
he's
Jimmy
a good
the player,
dude.
And it's not his fault. Like, what is he supposed to do? Not take that money from Ryan Pace? Like, I don't blame him.
Trey Burton was a good dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Adam Shaheen, not so much.
No, he's a dick.
But yeah, Jimmy is useless between the 20s. And then the frustrating part is the one point that he does, one area that he does have utility in, which is down in the red zone. How many times have they pulled him out of that offense down there?
Well, tonight he drops one.
Yeah, then he drops one. Yeah, but
it's like, oh well, what are you doing, man?
And he's carrying 2 dead cap hits for 2022 and 2023 when he won't even be on the roster, courtesy of that Pace restructuring of his contract.
Fire Ryan Pace.
Brutal.
Oh, fire the whole fucking
Fire them all. Fire them all.
Fire Teddy Boy too.
Yep.
So special team player of the game. What do you guys got? I got Williams for that pump block. I'm gonna throw it out there real quick.
Yeah, nice. And actually, if you look on the next punt, he blows up the protector and damn near gets him again.
Honorable mention D Virgin, just because I heard his name announced.
Chris House has a good name one too. Obvious shirts play teased by Tabor. I like that one too. Special teams play. Man, it's hard to point to anyone besides Williams.
Pat O'Donnell had a bomb of a punt.
Now we're gonna make obvious shirt sales go up, and we didn't even
Sponsor
Yeah,
us.
look.
Obvious shirts.
free plug.
Man,
Sponsor.
this is so bad that I'm even bringing this up because this shows how like brutal the talking points are here. But do you notice that Pat O'Donnell doesn't get a whole lot of hang time on his punts?
I think sometimes it's just to boom him out, but yeah,
I'm tired of seeing him.
Yeah, I
For-
think
at
that's
his
a
price
position that
tag.
needs to be upgraded this year.
at his price tag. Yes.
What's he?
Dude, he's punting a lot.
Too damn much.
Yeah, like I
I
think
just
if you
noticed
actually,
they're always like
I
lying.
think you'd be fine if you had an offense where you barely had to punt. Dude, the dude's like on a
Oh,
marathon.
he's really celebrating a punt. Yeah, we are.
What I'm saying, not
That's where we're
celebration.
at.
I'm saying, dude, probably. I mean, God, I guess you'd have to stat that up, but he's got to be in right in the top of the league in punt attempts.
Ooh, you know what? That's a good one. That's a fucking good one.
Poor guy's got more
Well,
punts.
you're underestimating our ability to turn the ball over.
They're working him like Fox worked Jordan Howard, bro. Like, just like they're taking years off. They're taking years off Mega Punt's career, bro.
More punts than rush
Oh,
attempts.
his leg is toast.
Oh shit!
More bang for your buck than any punter in NFL history. Like,
Brutal.
You might have
Wow,
the most-
shockingly, he's only 18th in punts.
really?
Punt
I
attempts.
told you, you
Yeah.
don't. You
Oh,
underestimate
I'm not
our
factoring
ability
in
to turn the ball
turnovers.
over.
Yeah, I'm highly.
See, there you go.
highly
We were -9, and coming into in the last what -9 in the last 6 weeks or some shit, and we end up
yeah, I was wrong.
-10,
Biscuits.
11.
Biscuits fact check me.
I
And I
mean, I do. It does seem like he is getting a lot of work.
Bro,
I don't
I
know.
kinda-
if the
I
stats
kinda
back up
like
the
it,
eyeball
though.
test there.
I kind of liked it in an abusive way, so I'm fine with it.
Nice.
Yeah. So he's punted before tonight. He had punted 53 times. The Texans punters punted 75 times,
And they look.
and they look better on offense than we do.
There you go.
Jesus.
Yeah, you guys want to get into next week's game at all? Because with Christmas coming, we are not doing a game preview this week.
Sure. I need a break, so go ahead and you guys talk for a little bit. I'm gonna
I
step
don't
out
have
for a
anything to
second.
say about it. Let's step out.
Well, all right, Jer. Hey, Jer, we're doing a pod. Hope you know
Pony's out of the stable now, boys. Why do you have to leave his mug up there, like just staring at us, like all?
that.
I know this is going to pod, but right now Jer went off, and basically to describe this for people listening on the pod, it's just a still picture of Jer looking like he's just staring at us, like just waiting for us to fuck up. It's really wild. It's kind of creepy actually right now because he's not actually talking, so we can say whatever we want right now about Jer. Go ahead, go in, Biscuits.
Oh man, in Indiana basketball is just brutal right now. Never seen a more dysfunctional team in the state of Indiana. I would just rank it as the 50th overall state right now. Just who likes Indiana?
P. Shells was coming at me
I saw that.
about Providence, right?
I saw that.
I'm a UConn fan, so my sports stuff has been a little bit positive. I have season tickets to UConn basketball, whatever.
Shit.
But
come back to UConn chat.
What I'm saying, Jer, be honest
Yes.
with me here. How can a Providence fan even have the nerve to talk shit to a UConn fan?
Yeah. I don't know.
They won an
Wait.
ice hockey national championship in 2015, and that
Is Pat a Providence fan?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was just busting your balls about that. I didn't know.
No, me and Patrick go back and forth about Red Sox Yankees. It's fun, but then he brought up the Hartford Whalers, and I was like, he Houdini'd the whole argument. Like, I don't care about hockey. Like,
Yeah, you threw that GIF up, and he was like, "What? Circling all the Big
What was
East
it?
losses or some
And
shit."
he tried to come at me about, oh well, Hartford this, and I said, you can talk all the shit you want about Hartford and New Haven. Nobody's gonna fight you on that from here. Like, you know, the parts of like your state where it's like, okay, yeah, you got me there. I don't really care. I don't go there either, so we're good. Like, I don't know. It was just funny, man.
You should
Funny
just
sports
remind
debate.
Pat that he lives in South Carolina, like me, and it's probably one of the shittiest states.
No, it's like Jared coming at me as a Notre Dame fan with his Hoosier bullshit. It's the same level of bullshit.
Gotcha.
Which Indiana beat in basketball. Thank you. Oh God, it's bad. Why are we having college talk?
But the basketball
we
doesn't
went
hurt me. The basketball doesn't hurt me because I'm a
No.
UConn fan. So.
Yeah, at least you have something to root for and
Well, I mean, they've
have
been
hope.
a little bit. They take it away sometimes too. But anyway, we're talking shit about you, Jared, when you left because you just left
I
that
don't know.
you left your profile mug up.
Right. I mean, Rhode Island is neither a road nor an island.
Speak
No,
amongst yourselves.
That's a good point. Why do they call it fucking Rhode Island?
It's a very small state, and I live in one, so I know what I'm talking about.
God.
Hey,
I'm
while
sorry,
we're on college talk, can I just shout out Coastal Carolina Toilet Bowl champions, broke out the tournament.
There. Well, that's the end of Coastal Carolina talk.
And
Go ahead.
It wasn't the Tail Greeter Bowl, not the,
It was.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was the Tail Greeter Bowl. It
Okay.
was. Grayson McCall had himself a day.
Yeah, I just didn't watch it. Did you, Jer?
Not 1 second.
It was a good game.
Our dude here, the Myrtle Beach Bowl was today. Where's our guy?
Dude, I was not gonna go out there to watch. It was raining for one thing. To watch fucking
You're supposed
Tulsa
to pimp
and-
us out, bitch.
Dude, I'm not pimping us out at Tulsa versus Old Dominion.
Yes. you
No
pimp
fucking
us out.
shot. Even if they were giving out well done steaks for free, I would not have gone. Well, maybe.
I think
but
that matched as many people
maybe.
as were there. So
Yakub in the chat, the UConn women's basketball. Yeah, I was there. I was at the game yesterday, man. Life sucks without Paige. I will say that.
they lose to Louisville.
They did.
Wow.
Was that the Mohegan trip with your with
Yeah,
your daughter?
it was at Mohegan. So my daughter, man,
Cool.
the first game was Michigan Baylor. She was kind of dragging. She's only 8 years old, but like once the UConn game started and the place filled in, she was like, yeah, I told her she's gonna lose her voice. She does not care, man. She's like,
Nice.
yeah, she was having a blast.
That's cool. That's awesome that you got stuff like that you can do with your kids.
That was
Yeah,
cool.
man.
Did
Yeah,
they win?
No, they
Nah.
lost.
Nope.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, more importantly, and not to put too much your personal business out there, but you had looked like a very nice dinner at a very nice Italian place. How was the dinner? That's the
Oh yeah, dude.
film
my boy-
analysis I
yeah.
want.
So my boy got high honors in school, so we let him pick where he wanted to eat, and me and my daughter were already there, so he loves it there. It's like a special occasion place. So like, yeah, with everything going on with COVID with these kids, man, life is just so different. Like even socialization, I'm not gonna go like I'm vaccinated. I hope everybody make up your own mind. I'm not going there, but with these kids, regardless of how you feel about the pandemic, children and their socialization has changed so much because you're talking masks all the time. Like I wish whatever the answer is, I wish we could get it right for the kids. So they're battling that. And my boy, he got COVID like right when school started, missed the first 10 days of middle school, which is a huge transition. And he battled through that, like, and still made high honors, man. So it was a big deal. It was a big deal for us. You know what I mean? He's doing his thing.
yeah.
So
Shout out to Minnie Diddy.
well, especially like just in this everything going on for them. I think like I don't think there's enough focus on how it's affected the kids, and they are the future. So like I hope all kids get through this all right, because I can imagine being their age right now and having to deal with the shit they're dealing with. Plus, like there's like this TikTok bullshit where there's gun threats for these schools, like or nationwide. Like that's the last thing these kids need. Like it's just been tough, man. I'm not trying to get on too much of a rant with it, but like children are the future, man. Like especially
I
being a parent.
believe the
Point.
children of the future.
I'm not trying to be like that, bro. It's just like being a parent. Like
I know it,
Rescue
man.
and stuff.
I could not imagine being a parent during all this shit. I'm
it's
so glad that I don't have kids.
yeah, but like
Me
moments
Me
like this
too.
when you show that fight, and like I'm proud of him. I'm just proud of them, man, because the chips are stacked against these kids. But it's just like when they have moments, like make sure like.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a big deal. It should be celebrated. That's
all. I don't have kids. I do have nephews. I had my nephew get his first 4 wins of his high school career in wrestling. Raider wrestling, baby.
Nice.
And first varsity wins on the same day, 6 years apart as his older brother. So I was pretty happy about that. Vikings game was a shit on my birthday, but that's okay.
This is the content I'm here for. It's actually more enjoyable to hear about y'all's wins personally than our shitty football team. So
yeah, but I think we all should, man, because it's that time of year, right? Christmas coming up. It's more about family. Like you got to appreciate all that. Like even you, Biscuits, you found a unicorn, man. She puts up with all your crazy shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
not a ginger one though.
No, shout out to her for holding this crazy motherfucker down.
She puts up with a lot. She really does.
She does.
I think, yeah, definitely outkicked my coverage. And you guys know in the thread, I have a lot of weird things that I require on my list from women, and she obliges. So
and she
shout out to you.
Honestly, for the little amount of time I got to like chill with you guys, like she seemed cool as hell, man. So
yeah, she gets down.
Oh, dude, she parties harder than me, man. She puts me to shame. I can't hang.
She can ball. She'd be second round pick in the party.
All right, Pony. We're not getting that deep into
Damn, man.
Like,
I was just discounted my lady to a second round pick.
Hey, man. Some people don't get drafted.
Damn. Whoa, God. Hey,
some people got to sign that walk on.
At least you're not undrafted.
Jared's not a talent
you're like
evaluator, bro. Let's just go. Let's just stop it all. Like, come on, man. You're acting like fucking Mel Kiper up here on some leading like draft specials. Come on, man.
Yeah, these are ladies. They're not. Never mind.
Yeah,
wow. You're really gonna just pigeonhole right on in there.
I was about to.
Jared, like, what's going on in Indiana? You have women combines, bro. She's a second round talent, strong with the wrist. She looks like she's been bred well for childbearing.
Oh wow!
Yo, Coop, you know what's funny is she eats her steaks the same way as me, and when I cook chicken, she likes me to overcook the chicken, like because she doesn't want any juice in it. She wants it dry as fuck, and that's why I love her. She gets me.
She'd want juice in it. She'd want juice in it if she met a man like Diddy, though.
Oh, you're over here ripping Jer for doing a draft analysis on my lady. Now you're saying
you kind of lofted that one up.
I did.
She's a second rounder because we traded away the first rounder.
It's a tailgate, man. We're just busting balls. But no, honestly,
A+ on that.
I stole that straight from him. I don't care.
That was hilarious.
Shout out to her for holding it down and keeping the biscuits happy and buttered.
Ooh, oh yeah.
Man. She's never gonna get hot boxed.
Season's been bullshit.
A lot to be thankful for.
Season's been bullshit. It sucks that AA couldn't join us, man. Hope you join us soon, brother. But
we miss you.
Going through shit like this, it's therapeutic to have boys to talk to and like hash it all out with, man. You guys have held it down too. So like, wish AA was here with us, but like, man, I hope you guys have a great Christmas.
Yeah,
you're all my boys when it comes to just kicking it and talking Bears, man, because it is.
Yeah.
It's therapy ultimately.
Ultimately, we're all friends first.
Yeah, I enjoy the thread too. I know the listeners don't get we try and bring some of the things into the thread here. Some of the things we'll leave in the thread, but it's enjoyable. It's a nice break from my day. Like if I'm at work, I come back to the thread and there's like 20 fucking hilarious things in there that make me laugh.
Exactly. Chris is like Hall of Fame status in it though.
Yeah, dude, Chris is hilarious. He's a funny dude. When he's not threatening to stab Pete Carroll, he is a funny. That was funny too, but
didn't Pete Carroll block him?
No, he got suspended. His account got clapped. One day he messaged me. He's like, "Hey, buddy, it's Chris. My account got clapped." Chris is a good dude, and he's overcome a lot. I'm not, I think he's put something on Twitter. I'm not gonna put it out there, but he's overcome a lot in his life too. He's got a great positive attitude, and I definitely appreciate him tuning in. Makes the show more enjoyable.
That's what it's about, man. And fuck,
And-
Kentucky's never better than Indiana. Whoever that was, Yakub. I see that shit.
And that was our Seahawks breakdown.
Yeah, dude, yeah. Didn't mention a single fucking.
Bears,
Oh, no,
Seahawks
we
preview.
did. We did. Yakub stabbing somebody in the throat.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So so a little bit. Let's just do a little quick hit on this.
I'm really good. But go ahead.
Is this game? Let me ask you all a question. This before the
winnable?
season started. Yeah, does this game now seem more winnable than it did to start the season? Based on how Seattle's looked these past couple weeks, they do not look like the Seattle that we all have come to know. Russell doesn't look like Russell. Their running game,
Where'd they get
Penn
right?
last week, but
Where the
it's
get
their
right
the get right game.
sure feels that way.
You calling for a 3-game streak, Biscuits?
Oh,
A 3. No. At this point, I'm not even sure we can beat Jake Fromm and the Giants.
You calling
here in
for a
couple weeks.
2-quarter streak, Biscuits?
Maybe a quarter streak, but nah, I see maybe the Giants game, and that's probably about all she wrote, boys. 5 wins this year.
I can't even overlook the Giants, though, because I've been, like, in 18, went to the Meadowlands thinking we were going to thump them.
yep,
You just-
that didn't happen.
No.
Was
Who
that the Tariq Cohen touchdown throw game? that we ended
Hakeem
up losing?
Hicks
Yeah,
rushing touchdown.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It was the Odell Beckham, like, 35, 40-yard touchdown game, yeah. I think it might have been longer than that.
It was a bomb.
I saw it in all its glory.
Oh, you were at that game.
Yeah,
Yes, I was.
Mott's were there.
Oh.
Everybody was there.
Oh.
Yep, I was also at Cutler's last game there when Alshon got suspended for PEDs, and I rocked his jersey. That was fun.
I think
The comments I can imagine.
I think the most memorable game I've ever been to is the Todd Collins 3 interception game in Carolina that we still won because of Matt Forte. But I got escorted out of the stadium early in that game.
Wow.
I got really drunk playing Jaeger Pong, fell asleep
Check.
in the stands in the fourth quarter, and I like woke up to like security all around me, and they took me
Is
out.
this guy alive?
Wow.
So yeah, that's
That was,
my
that was the most memorable.
dude. That was young biscuits. Yeah.
I don't know. The Pittsburgh game is going to be memorable. I was up in Buffalo when they played the Bills, when the Bills had Bledsoe and we had Jim Miller, and we lost in fucking overtime.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
It is, but Buffalo's a rough spot. We were sitting in the nosebleeds, bro. That was back then. It hit different. But
Most memorable game I've been to, Bears Vikings. Peanut took it away from
Nice.
Randy.
Oh, you were at that one.
I was at that one.
Damn.
I was at Chicago whenever they caught. I think is that the same game they caught Hussein too. I think it might have been the same game they caught Saddam Hussein.
Oh, I was like, wait, what? I thought you.
The U.S. caught Saddam Hussein.
I got you.
that
The
morning.
Vikings had a player, defensive back. It was a.
Yes, I know who you.
I thought
I know
that's
who
what you were going with. Okay, wow.
I can't remember if that was the same game. 2-kicker conspiracy in Tennessee, but that was a preseason game.
Yakub went to a good one, the Glennon revenge game.
Oh God!
you sound like a Southern vet. You remember that game? He's like, when we caught Saddam Hussein. I'm just like,
That was wild, man. The stadium was wild. It was like everybody was chanting USA, 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 and then that was Grossman's first start.
Oh, Rex. Poor Rex.
they were chanting USA when we.
Whenever they announced it over
when we killed him.
not when we killed him,
Oh,
when that he was captured. So that was just one of those things, man.
That would be really weird if you had a Bears game,
Yeah.
watching Rex Grossman make his first start, and all of a sudden, breaking news: United States.
It actually started.
good.
It actually happened earlier in the
I was
morning.
about to get political, and I held off.
It actually happened earlier in the morning.
Okay.
So it was a lot of people didn't know it. We were listening to it on the radio coming in. Talk about a weird trip, man. We hit a deer. I had to put the car together with duct tape.
Politically, dude, the worst was when we killed bin Laden. I was in Mexico and I had to fly out the next day. That was the worst trip home ever from a trip because, like, in Philadelphia, that was my first landing spot back into the country. Security was taking so fucking long going through every goddamn bag. I missed my flight home, so I was so pissed. I had to get another flight because I couldn't even get through security in time. It was freaking brutal. Like, what the worst fucking day you could even imagine to try to go through airport security.
I don't want to talk about missed flights right now. It's
Yeah,
but not.
that's a normal day for you.
still not over that.
I'm like, where's biscuits? Oh, all right.
Lost
So
half a fucking day.
Guess we'll go to this party then.
Thanks, Myrtle Beach Airport. Yeah, Bears paid $18 million to Glennon. Yeah, $6 million per start, $6 million per touchdown.
Oh, Pace needs to go. Hey, caught that moment with Trailer and Azuma though. That return.
Did he?
I've got that autographed on my wall by both of them, Trailer and Azuma. That was a great moment. Watching that big boy.
AA's you do have that piece in your man cave there.
Yeah. That was cool because it captured it and they both signed it. So like that was fun as hell watching that dude just go. Trailer, such a freaking when a big dude makes a huge play like that, it's just not only is it funny, it's just awesome to see.
I remember hearing that.
Who was his running mate next to Keith Trailer? The other
Ted Washington.
There it is.
Oh, they kept Urlacher clean, man.
Sure fucking did.
Yeah.
Yep, that was
good old days.
The same game. We won.
I don't know how we got there, but the good old days. Talking about games we've been to, so
I think we're trying to talk about things that are better than what we currently have to watch.
Yeah, that's our game breakdown against the Seahawks.
Yeah.
No, we hit the Yakub. No, we hit the deer in Central Illinois.
I mean,
anyway,
all I have to say about this upcoming game is just evaluating the young guys and hoping Justin continues to show things for us to be excited about going forward.
Young developmental snaps and growth, 100%. Do y'all want to throw score predictions out there real quick? Totally too early score predictions. We're not doing a pod this week. Throw a random fucking score out there and let's get out of here.
Bears. Let's see, we scored 9. So Bears
barely
15. Seattle 27.
I'm gonna
we get to double digits.
21-17 Seahawks.
Ooh, a nail biter.
Not really.
It's a junk 17.
4 points.
I'm not predicting how the points happen, so it's not. I mean, I'm not expecting like a edge of your seat game, but
I'm gonna go 24-9. 3 Carlos Santos field goals. It's gonna be a long day again for the offense. And Jair gets his Seattle get right game.
Anything else we need to discuss other than wishing our listeners a happy holidays?
Yeah, Merry Christmas, and for me, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year because I'm tired of talking about this team. So, no, I'm playing.
Appreciate everyone in the chat tonight. Y'all brought some good comments, some good talking material. There's not a whole lot to talk about, and I wish you guys both a very Merry Christmas. I don't know how Indiana gets down. If you guys just put up a keg with some lights around it, or
I was thinking about it, but no, we'll discuss that off air. Whatever you are, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas, whatever you celebrate,
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Now y'all say it. That's cool.
What, man? Those are my people. Happy Hanukkah.
Word, because you haven't said it to me.
I just told you Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah, thanks. I'll retro that back to when it started.
Listen, I'm gonna get my dreidel out.
I'm joking, man. I'm joking.
Easy killer, easy.
I'm on that Mr. Hanky kick.
I don't care what you celebrate. Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. Just enjoy your family. Have a good time.
Happy
Be
holidays,
thankful.
everybody.
And
Be careful out there. And that's just another episode of The Tailgate Show.
The mistletoe. Y'all know what to do.
Dan Hampton DUI news.
Oh, we missed that.
Yeah.
How much was that?
It has no relevance to this pod, but I just wanted to throw it out there.
Could have been
All right.
holiday driven, bro. We threw it out there for you.
I always miss that voice. Sorry.
That's